Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something I think we can all relate to? Stress.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's safe to say stress is a universal experience.
You got that right. And today we're going beyond just talking about stress. We're exploring this whole trend of stress relief wellness boxes. They're popping up everywhere.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like self-care, all packaged up and delivered right to your doorstep. Pretty clever.
I know, right? And we've got this great article that dives into the business side of things, Stress Relief Wellness Box, a profitable and meaningful business idea. I mean, did you know that the global wellness industry is worth, get this, over $4.5 trillion? dollars?
Wow. Trillion. That's a staggering number.
It's mind-blowing. It makes you realize just how much people are prioritizing their well-being these days.
It really does. I mean, it's no surprise, but burnout rates being what they are, people are actively searching for solutions. And, well, a little pampering never hurts.
So true. We're all running on fumes these days, it seems. But I'm curious, from a business standpoint, what's the big appeal of these boxes? Is it the subscription model everyone's obsessed with?
That's definitely a big part of it. I mean, recurring revenue is like the holy grail for any business. But I think with wellness boxes, you've also got this element of convenience combined with a bit of surprise.
Yeah, I get that. It's like getting a little present to yourself every month, but what's in these things anyway?
Well, the article breaks it down into 5 main categories. First up, you've got aromatherapy and relaxation. Think soothing scents like lavender and eucalyptus.
Ah, so essential oils, candles, those kinds of things.
Exactly, things that can really transform your space and your mode.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Then you got herbal teas and supplements. This is where things get interesting because it's a real blend of traditional remedies and modern trends.
Like chamomile tea to unwind after a long day.
Right, chamomile's a classic, but then you've got things like adaptogens, which are really gaining popularity for their stress-busting properties.
Wait, adaptogens. I've heard that word, but I'm not sure I really get it. What are they and do they actually work?
Well, they're basically natural substances that are believed to help your body adapt to stress. And the research on them is still developing, to be honest, but there's definitely a lot of interest in their potential.
So they're not like a magic cure-all for stress, but they might help your body handle it better.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like giving your system extra support to navigate those difficult moments.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What's the next category?
All right, now this is where things get a little more introspective. Mindfulness and self-care. So think guided medication journals, adult coloring books, affirmation cards, things like that.
Oh, I love those kinds of things. Anything that encourages a little mindfulness is good in my book, though I have to admit I don't always make the time for it.
You and me both. But that's what's great about these boxes. They kind of remind you to take a pause.
True, they make it easier to prioritize yourself. All right, what else have we got?
Next up is massage and comfort tools. This is all about physical relaxation. So think neck massages, weighted eye masks.
Ooh, a weighted eye mask. Those sound heavenly. I've heard they work wonders for sleep.
They're pretty popular. And it makes sense when we're stressed. We tend to hold that tension in our bodies. These tools can really help release it.
I've got to try one of those. What's the last category? I'm hoping it's something delicious.
You guessed it. Healthy snacks and drinks.
Oh, that's my kind of self-care. What sort of things are we talking?
Well, you might find dark chocolate, which actually has some health benefits, nut bars, packed with good fats, or maybe some trendy adaptogen drinks.
Adaptogen drinks. I'm picturing like mushroom coffee or something.
You're on the right track. They're definitely having a moment right now. It's all part of this trend towards using food as a way to manage stress and boost well-being.
I've definitely noticed that. It seems like everyone's all about functional foods and drinks these days. I have to admit, I'm a sucker for a good turmeric latte myself.
Who isn't? They're delicious and they make you feel good. It's a win-win.
All right, so we've got aromatherapy, herbal remedies, mindfulness tools, massage gadgets, and healthy snacks all in one box. It's like a stress relief starter kit. But what stands out to you the most in all of this? If you were creating a stress relief box, what would be your must-have item?
Hmm. That's a tough one. There are so many good options. But, I think for me, it would have to be a high-quality weighted blanket.
A weighted blanket. I've been hearing so much about those, but I've never actually tried one. What's the appeal?
It's hard to describe, but it's incredibly comforting. It feels like a gentle hug. There's actually research suggesting that the deep pressure can help reduce anxiety and promote relaxation.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. I might need to get one myself. But I'm also curious about how these companies decide what goes into these boxes. Is it all about following trends, or is there something more to it?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. It's not just trends. It's about understanding different needs and budgets. Remember how we talked about those different price tiers? Basic, standard, and premium.
Oh yeah, that totally makes sense from a business perspective. Gotta offer options, right? But what makes a box premium? Is it just more stuff, or are we talking like higher quality?
It's kind of both, actually. Premium boxes might have more items, yeah, but they're often from more well-known brands, or maybe they include special bonus gifts.
Ooh, like what? A free meditation session or something.
Yeah, things like that. Or early access to new products. And let's not forget the packaging itself. The article actually emphasizes eco-friendly packaging as a big selling point.
Oh, that's smart. Appealing to the eco-conscious consumer. It shows they're not just about profits, right? They actually care about the whole wellness picture.
Exactly. It's about the experience, not just the stuff inside. And here's the cool thing. It's not just subscriptions. They also offer one-time purchases.
Oh, like for gifts. That's a great idea, especially around the holidays.
Right. And some even do seasonal boxes, like a special stress relief kit for the holidays. Plus, there's a whole potential market with corporate partnerships.
Oh, I can see that. Companies buying boxes for their employees as part of a wellness program. Much better than a fruit basket.
Haha, totally. It's a thoughtful way for companies to show they care about their employees' well-being. Plus, don't forget about upselling and cross-selling. They can bundle those boxes with other things like subscriptions to medication apps or online courses.
Right, creating a whole self-care ecosystem. Okay, so they've got the products, the pricing, the different ways to buy. But how do they actually reach people? Like, how do they get on our radar?
Well, the article talks about a bunch of marketing strategies, and it's kind of fascinating how they've adapted to the online world. One big one is SEO and content marketing.
So making sure they pop up when people search for stress relief or self-care.
Exactly. It's all about using those keywords and creating helpful content that positions them as experts in the wellness space. Like they might have blog posts with tips on managing stress or guides to different relaxation techniques.
So they're not just selling a product, they're providing useful info too. Smart. What about social media? That seems like a natural fit for this kind of time.
Oh, absolutely. Social media is huge for them. Think unboxing videos on Instagram, those catchy TikToks using their products, partnerships with influencers. It's very visual, very engaging.
Yeah, those unboxing videos are hard to resist. What about good old-fashioned email marketing? Do people still use email?
You'd be surprised. A lot of them offer a discount on your first box if you sign up for their email list.
Uh-huh. Those 10% off offers get me every time. But do they really work?
They can, especially if they use those emails to personalize recommendations based on your past purchases or the things you're interested in. It helps them stay on your mind and keep offering something valuable.
So it's not just lasting out generic promos, it's more tailored to individual needs. That's clever. What other marketing magic do they use?
Well, there's always paid advertising and retargeting.
You mean those ads that seem to follow you around the internet? I swear, every time I look at a wellness product online.
Yep, that's retargeting. It can be a little creepy, but it's definitely effective. It keeps their brand in your mind.
Fair enough. It works, I guess. What else?
They often partner up with wellness experts, like therapists or yoga instructors.
Oh, I've seen those. Like a box curated by a famous mindfulness guru or something.
Right. That adds a lot of credibility and probably makes people feel more confident about the quality of what's inside.
It makes sense. So it sounds like they've got all their bases covered, from SEO to influencer marketing. But let's be real, running a business is never easy. What are some of the hurdles these companies might face? What makes it tough?
You're so right. No business is perfect, and the wellness box world has its challenges. One of the biggest is customer acquisition costs. Getting people to try your product for the first time, that can get expensive. Yeah, especially in a market that's getting more and more crowded. It's a real challenge.
So how do they overcome that? Is it just those marketing tactics we talked about?
That's a big part of it for sure. They can be creative and find ways to stand out without blowing their entire budget.
Makes sense. So it's about building a strong brand, creating a community, all of that.
Exactly. People need to feel like they're connecting with something they believe in, something that speaks to them, not just buying a random box of stuff.
That's so true. Okay, so what other challenges come up? What else makes this business tricky?
Well, there's the whole issue of maintaining consistent product quality. You can't promise a premium experience and then deliver something that's subpar, right?
Right. If people are disappointed, they're going to cancel their subscriptions and word will get around.
You got it. So these companies really have to focus on partnering with reputable brands, doing thorough testing, and listening to what their customers are saying.
And then there's the logistics of it all, right? Managing inventory, getting those boxes shipped out on time, especially with a subscription model, that's got to be a lot to handle.
Oh, absolutely. Logistics can be a real headache, especially as these businesses grow. A lot of them end up using fulfillment services or drop shipping to streamline things.
So they basically outsource the shipping and handling part. Smart move.
Yeah, it lets them focus on other things, like developing new products and marketing their brand.
Okay, last challenge I can think of is keeping those customers coming back. Getting them to sign up is one thing, but how do you make sure they stick around?
That's the million-dollar question. It's about finding ways to keep things fresh and exciting. They have to constantly be thinking about how to add value, maybe through loyalty programs, exclusive content, or even personalized experiences.
It's like you have to keep wooing your customers even after they've said yes.
Exactly. You can't just rest on your laurels. Okay, so we talked about the good stuff, the challenges, but what does this all mean for someone listening? Like, what's the takeaway from this whole wellness box deep dive?
Yeah, that's a great question. What would you say is the biggest thing we've learned about this whole industry?
I think it really boils down out of this. The stress relief wellness box business is tapping into something really important in today's world. It's not just about bath bombs and scented candles. It's about meeting a real need.
It's about providing people with tools and resources to prioritize their well-being, right?
Absolutely. And doing it in a way that's fun, convenient, and even a little bit indulgent. It's like giving yourself permission to take a break and recharge.
Well said. And for anyone out there who's intrigued by this whole concept, whether you're thinking about subscribing to a box or even starting your own business, what would you say is the most important thing to remember?
I think the key is to be mindful and intentional. Do your research, figure out what your needs are, and don't be afraid to experiment. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to self-care, so find what works for you and makes you feel good.
That's great advice. Well, there you have it, folks. The stress relief wellness box phenomenon, a fascinating blend of business and well-being. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive. And if you've had any experience with these boxes yourself, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, share your favorite products, your thoughts on the whole trend, whatever comes to mind. Let's keep the conversation going.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay well.